Welcome back to Cinema 3D. I'm your host, Sam, and today I'm with my co-hosts, Justin and John. And today we're talking about our top 5 underrated horror movie picks.
I realize now I have to actually lean in to talk to my mic because I can't just move it. You know, I kind of made a wrong decision with getting this stand, but
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Okay. So I'm really happy to be back with the two of my longtime friends.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Me too.
Sam, how's it going, man?
It's going well. You know, same old, same chair, same room. Happy to be here as always.
Fantastic.
So, yeah. So the air in the room is still the same. The vibe is the same, but this is clearly not Sam.
I'm a variant.
It's the multiverse.
It's the multiverse, which is the popping thing nowadays. If there's any plot hole, it's just blame the multiverse, I guess.
Yeah. Who does it? Like Marvel or something?
I think so.
Yeah.
Sometimes DC, if they know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know.
And apparently they just make the bad movies. Marvel just makes all the plot holes.
Yeah.
But yeah, today we're talking about top 5 underrated horror films in our opinions, and I think we all in unison agreed that it doesn't necessarily have to mean the movie was rated poorly, but it's just in our opinion, whether it's a decently rated movie or it is poorly rated, just personal opinions on any of these horror movies we've watched, and that kind of heavily leans into my list, and I think both of yours with some of these picks. But since McNeil flew down from South Carolina to do an episode with us, this is a random one.
Yeah.
Let's
this
start it off.
We had planned.
It wasn't.
We had him lead it. And we had him lead the intro.
And he was willing.
How funny was that? I was like, hey, welcome, sir.
It's like, and
congratulations, you're now the lead.
I was about to introduce myself because you're like, obviously this isn't Sam, and then continued to not explain who I am.
I was just waiting. I was like, all right, who's gonna cave in first?
I know. I feel like there wasn't a good way to get into the topic without clearing the room, or like clearing the air on that.
I could feel you just like cringing.
I was like, I should have thought about this beforehand. But I think we should have McNeil go first, and we'll be going from 5 to 1.
Sure.
And we'll name each of our 5 picks, and then go each to our 4, and just go like that until we get 1.
Just go around in a circle.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I'm going with a horror comedy for my first pick, which isn't usually my go-to, but this one just worked for me so well. I saw it in theaters when it came out in 2019, and that's Ready or Not.
Nice.
Oh man, I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah.
You saw it?
No, I haven't. But
I feel like every time we do anything podcast-wise, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I haven't seen it though.
No, but that was one that I was wanting to watch, but it still passed me.
It's really good. It's a dark comedy. It's about this girl who's marrying into this family, and the family has this ritual that whenever somebody marries into the family, they have to basically play a game, and the person marrying into the family has to survive the game by the end of the night. So if sunrise happens and the person's still alive, then they're basically accepted into the family, and then vice versa if not. So it's
a cool concept.
Yeah, and they spin like a wheel, I think, and they try to choose what game they're playing that way. And for this movie, they land on hide and seek, and so she's like trying to hide from the family the whole time, and she thinks she's just like, all right, hide and seek, like this is pretty easy, I can hide for the night, you know. But turns out they're all like out to kill her, and they're on the hunt. So and then the ending is just absolutely bonkers. Like it's crazy and is also hilarious at the same time, but
nice.
It's really good. It's really entertaining.
Yeah, that's something that's one I gotta watch.
That was 19, right?
No. Yeah, it was 2019, and people liked it. Like it's not one that had like poor ratings, but like in terms of horror comedies, like I think people talked about it for that year, but like I think it's like one of the best. Yeah. So I think it should be in higher regard in terms of that particular subgenre.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's a good one. I have not seen that, so I don't have it on
John
my list.
agrees, but he hasn't seen it. So
I mean, I agree. It's true because it was one of those movies that I was dying to watch.
We were about to go see it together.
We were,
and then I don't know what happened. Maybe
life,
Endgame. Who knows?
Endgame.
Yeah.
Maybe
on the 4th rewatch or whatever.
Oh man, yeah.
But yeah,
go.
You go next. I want to go last.
Oh, look at you.
I feel like I always go Last. Yeah, I
yeah,
always
you
go
always go
last.
last. What are you talking about? Jeez. Number 5 for me would be Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow.
Ooh, I considered that one, but I was like, I feel like that was one a lot of people knew, but I love that
Yeah,
movie.
I do too. I think it's one of Tim Burton's best.
I agree.
And it is full horror, 100%. And it just still looks incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Tim Burton's he's an artist, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a specific style. Whether you love or hate it, it's up to you. But I love it.
Yeah.
And Johnny Depp's great. The retooling of the story's great. The Headless Horseman is amazing.
Yeah.
And just the practical effects to everything. It's just everything about it. Danny Elfman's music. Oh,
Yeah.
Dude, that
Yeah.
movie, because that was one of my favorite childhood stories.
Yeah. Same here.
The Headless Horseman and like the Ichabod Crane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, it still has that like, all the pieces are there,
Yeah.
but it also feels so different from the story I remember. Like I used to read the book, and then I think I saw like one of those live plays at the time, like I don't know, 4th, 5th grade, whatever.
Yeah.
But it just like cemented it as one of those like core memories.
Yeah. No,
Like
I agree.
Inside Out, but
Yeah. No, I agree. No, it's a great film.
I love that movie. I mean, the cinematography is so good. The set
Incredible.
design, just the overall aesthetic of it is like, it's haunting, but also beautiful at the same time.
It's become one of my staples for October to watch.
Yeah,
Which is
I
coming up.
actually watched it, rewatched it last October too.
Yeah.
I want it to be like a October rerun for me.
Absolutely. That along with Halloween 1978.
well, I feel like your list is more than the amount of days there are to watch films in October. I feel like you're always like, I'm going to watch all of Halloween, I'm going to watch all of this, all of that, and then
Oh,
it comes
Scream
down to
movies.
it, and you end up
Binge
watching
all.
Halloween, but
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
true.
watch maybe some anime.
Maybe some horror anime. I mean, give me a little credit. Jeez. Shit.
I've never actually seen horror anime. Well, I guess like Hellsing and
Yeah.
Castlevania could be.
You
put in
didn't
that
finish
category.
Helsing. You
No,
decided
it's
to
just-
just go on Castlevania instead.
I will say I need to probably finish it, but it was just bad when I first watched it.
What do you mean? Alucard's
I mean-
amazing.
No, it is, but Alucard and Castlevania is even better.
Oh man, I don't know.
It's a different topic for a different day.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. We get on tangents, by the way.
That's cool with me.
That one was one of the shortest ones ever recorded in cinematic history.
absolutely. Because they're straight shooters.
My number 5 is one that I don't think it's poorly rated. I just don't think enough people have seen it. And I know we've seen it quite a few times. I've actually shown it to at least 3 or 4 people, and I watched it with Janae, and she loved it. And that is Hush.
Yeah, dude. Yes.
I liked it, but I never finished it for some. I think I got like distracted or something. But I liked it for
Yeah.
what I did see of it.
It is, I what would you say? It's basically a slasher, even though there's just one.
But it is. It's definitely a slasher.
It's got that vibe.
But it's got that-
but
but
it's got the Stranger's vibe.
Yeah,
Like,
yep.
you're stuck in one place,
Yeah.
but it never feels like boring. Like there's always something new, like visually, like whether it's the different room in the house. But I think the huge thing is the whole concept is just very original, where she's deaf, and like that just takes out half of life,
Yeah.
half of your way to like function.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy is just, once he finds that out too, like he doesn't even know in the beginning, but once he finds
Right.
that out, it just gets demented. Like, and I think the simplicity of that film elevates it to be one of my favorite October watches. And it's probably one of the most easily accessible horror films.
Yeah. You wanted to also directed that?
Mike Flanagan.
Mike Flanagan.
Yes. Oh, good job. Did
Earlier
you-
in his career too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Oculus is amazing.
That is an honorable mention for me. That's
Yeah.
a really good. The third act of Oculus
Yeah.
is insane.
That's the one with the mirror, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that one was great, but I also get it confused with The Boy and The Boy 2 for some reason.
Oh.
Which The Boy was fine. The Boy 2 was one of the
Wow.
best movies ever. But
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
my number 5 is Hush, and now I'm gonna hush.
Oh wow. Brilliant.
Dad jokes.
Yep.
My number 4 is actually a movie that came out this year, and I say that like I use this year as like an example because I don't think it's gonna end up being one that people talk about as more years come later. Sorry, it's like past midnight, so like my brain is not like there. But that's Late Night with the Devil.
That was seamless though.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's late night. I'm not all, but it's Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that though.
It's really, really good. Like just from an aesthetic standpoint, like the way it kind of brings the 1970s talk shows back to life.
Yes, Schatzberg
Is he talked about that in the Discord chat that he watched it and thought it was incredible.
Yeah.
And it's really good. And it's I never figured out how to pronounce this guy's last name.
Yes.
Dave or David. What's his name?
Dave Dashmashian?
Something like
Polka
that.
Dot Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot.
He has a weird last name, but I know it's David. So
Yeah, it's
creepy.
the best performance of his career. I've never seen him in a lead role because he's front and center in this movie, and he's fantastic. Like he's so charismatic, and there's also moments where you kind of like hate him because he's like, he's doing things for entertainment purposes and he's not like having like everybody else's best interest. But it's a supernatural horror movie and it takes some wild twists and turns. It's a bit of a slow burn, but like it's even filmed like it's technically a found footage movie, and so it's like
that's cool.
You're watching like it would be a rerun. It's like somebody discovered the footage or whatever, and it's really captivating. I think it's one of the best horror movies of the year so far. But people saw it, but it had like a straight to streaming thing really quickly after its really limited theatrical run, and so not many people saw it. It made very little money at the box office. I don't even think it made a profit at all.
Is it like Deadpool and Wolverine release time?
Right, yeah, like nobody saw that. And
no, I mean I meant like the release date,
like when it came out.
Yeah, like was it around that time?
No, it came out a few months prior.
I haven't seen Deadpool Wolverine, so I fit that.
But it's really good. I think the horror works well. I think it's really well crafted, and it's gonna be one of the underrated movies of the year, and I think one of the underrated horror movies of the year as well. So
very nice.
Sorry about the brain fart in the beginning, but yeah.
No, you're good.
My brain turns on high function after midnight, but I know I'm out of the ordinary.
Mine is
You're
iffy.
definitely a high functioning person correctly right now. Currently, that's the word.
At least I can speak.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 is The Void.
I don't think I've even heard of that.
I've heard of it, haven't seen it.
It is a creepy as hell throwback to like John Carpenter age, like 1980s, just full on The Thing, body horror, cult, like spiritual, crazy, scientific, all this stuff
Is this
all
it?
together. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what that was, but that looked kind of creepy.
It's great. It's so good. And it came out I think maybe like 16, 17, I want to say. But I enjoyed when I first watched it. And I watched it recently again. Let me tell you, watching that high, or drinking, it changes your life, sir.
For the worse or for the better?
Well, let me tell you, son, it changes you for the worst.
This dude just pulled the... Let me tell you, son.
But yes, The Void. If you want to throw back to just 80s horror, The Void.
Who directed it?
I forgot.
No. I don't know why I was thinking you said Christopher Lee. I was like, I'm watching that tonight. It's like Christopher Lee directed something.
He decided to direct a movie when he's like almost 100. Well, hey, you know what though?
He found a way to defeat death.
Yeah, then again, Clint Eastwood is still kicking at 93, 94. So fuck it, man. Like
with Cry Macho.
Yeah, Cry Macho.
Yeah, I thought he was
got some other
like,
one coming out
He does.
this year, next year, whatever.
Crazy. I hope to be like him.
Everyone's always done, and then they're not.
I hope to be like him, where another human being changes my diapers when I'm an old man, and I'm trying to shoot a scene. I'm trying to shoot a scene, and I was like, "Wait, hold on, bathroom break, guys."
You don't need
All right,
a bathroom
back
break,
to the
just keep
scene.
going.
Oh yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah, if you got the depends.
That's
You're like, wait, hold on, bathroom break. All right, we're good.
bathroom break.
And you act like you act like how a toddler actually is taking the shit. Just like,
Oh, dude, Atlas's face when he's pooping is one of the funniest. He's like,
It's like, what is that? Like, what?
and then he just goes back to playing with his toys.
That's crazy.
Okay.
I'm kind of jealous. Go ahead. Sorry.
On that note, we're going on to my number 4. Very similar description to what you gave for last night or Late Night with the Devil. Keep thinking Last Night in Soho, but very similar description to Late Night with the Devil. It's supernatural horror film. We watched it way after it came out. I think this came out in 2020. What?
Yeah. Go
I don't know if you know. No, it's not the one you're thinking of.
I wonder if it's my number 3.
I doubt it. If you've seen this movie, I will handshake you.
Oh no! I just thought of one.
It's Antlers.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's not that.
Yeah, dude.
This is probably the one out of the 5 that like completely just flew under the radar.
Yeah.
Like I don't think barely any people have seen this movie or heard about it.
I remember the trailers, but I didn't see it. I think it was one that was it in theaters right before COVID hit.
It might have been, but I think it probably had a limited theatrical release. It's
okay. I'm not doing so high with my voice either. I think. So I'm talking like this. No.
I'm struggling, but
I know you're talking like this right now.
Antlers. The reason why I wanted to watch it, which I don't know why I did, because I've always had nightmares about the Wendigo, and just the name itself terrifies me.
You're so Spanish, bro.
I know, dude. I used to read those horror stories of like Spanish culture, and it's actually freaky. Like, I have nightmares about all that stuff. But the Wendigo is one mystical creature that just freaked me out.
What is that?
It's basically, it's just a monstrous creature that kind of looks like a moose
Mixed with a deer.
But it's standing on its 2 feet.
Oh.
The Wendigo is.
Yeah.
But then in the movie, I can't remember everything because
standing
we
on all
heard.
fours in this one. But it was crazy. Like,
But yeah, it's creepy. Like,
Okay.
it's called Antlers because it's got antlers, of course.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Duh.
but it deals with trauma. It deals with a lot of other things.
It's psychedelic too.
It's very psychedelic. It's a slow burn.
Slow burn as hell.
Oh, but it's so worth it though.
It's
Oh my
probably
gosh.
it's literally the exact same description you gave, except it's just doesn't have any like recognizable actors in it. But I think that helps it because it feels like a low budget movie.
Right.
It looks incredible. Though.
Yeah, and I just remember both of us being like, wow, why I wish we had seen this in theaters, and I wish more people would see this. And honestly, people might, if they watch it now, they might not even care. Like, it's probably just a throwaway horror movie to them. But for me, it just feels so good to watch something that came out recently that just like no one's talking about, and I thought it was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would recommend it. I felt like it was only an hour and a half, so I think you should check that out, and I'll check out Late Night with the Devil.
Absolutely.
And I am
The devil.
the devil. Not the devil. Your practice. We're nerds. Number 3.
All right. My number 3 is another 2020 release that I think it actually came out January, which is usually where studios dump all of their trash horror movies. But this one like really stood out, and that's The Lodge.
Oh,
I haven't heard of that either.
Did you see it?
No.
It's so good. It's really crazy. It's kind of a cult horror movie. It's like a cult horror movie in terms that it is about a cult. It's not really like a cult classic at this point because it doesn't have a big enough following, hence why it's on the underrated list. But it's about this girl who I guess is essentially broken away from a cult that she was involved with that had like this mass suicide situation, or it was either a suicide or genocide or something like that, and she ends up dating, she either is dating or is married to this father of 2 kids, and they go on a trip to this lodge out in the forest, and it's in the winter, and all this crazy stuff from her past comes back to haunt her, basically, and it just goes bananas from there. And it's got some really creative shots in there, and it's got a great performance from Riley Keough. And it's just, it was...
Is it like a slasher type or like a...
No, it's more of... I think it's somewhere in between... I haven't seen it since theaters, but I think it's somewhere in between like a psychological horror movie and maybe kind of is between that with supernatural, I would say. It for lack of a better word, straddles the two. I don't really know which one it is, but it's a little bit of both. But it's really captivating. I remember being in the car with my friend afterwards on the drive home, and we were both just so disturbed, like talking about
Those
like
are the best ones, dude.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
like, and it's only grown on me since because of the impression that it left on me. Like I remember thinking like, I don't think I could watch that again, but now I'm like so curious to watch again because I am far enough removed from it where it's like I would kind of be experiencing it again for the first time because I've forgotten so much about it. But I remember like how it looked. I remember the performances, and I guess I remember more about it than I realized. But I mean, I was about to say I remember the whole story, but it's just it was just really engrossing, and the ending was wild. So it's a must watch for sure. It's definitely not for like the
Lodge.
Yeah, it's called The Lodge. For people who are maybe a bit timid when it comes to horror movies, it's probably not for you, but if you like them, it's definitely worth a watch. So
Yeah.
The Lodge.
The Lodge.
It's a great title too. Anything with starting with the.
Yeah.
It's either the best movie ever or the worst movie ever.
Okay, so my number 3 is actually a third film in a franchise.
Oh, I want to guess so bad, but I know it would take me a hot minute.
Yeah.
A third film in the franchise. I've seen this.
Yes.
Well, it's not Halloween.
Is it a 21st
it's not-
century franchise?
No.
Okay, so I was going to guess The Conjuring.
It's not Scream. It's not Halloween. It's not Saw. It's not The Purge. It's not Insidious because you hate that. It's not The Conjuring.
Could it be Friday the 13th?
There's no way. Oh, underrated we're talking about. Is it Season of the Witch?
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
I've-
From
I've-
1983, I think. It's the third film. It's a sequel. It's technically a sequel to Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. But they decided to go in a different direction. That's not Michael Myers, and go into a different direction with like a different story for Halloween on the night of Halloween. And they were going to try to make John Carpenter and company was going to try to make this into a Halloween anthology series moving forward, with each year having a Halloween movie has like a different story. So they did this, and it's really cool. It's really wicked too. It's got such a great 80s feel, and it's pretty ingenious with the whole madman trying to sacrifice children and make them buy these masks. That's incredible to be sacrifices for the night of Samhain, like Halloween, and it's great.
It's honestly pretty creepy.
It is creepy, absolutely. And yeah, it's a great. I watched it every October as well. And I know it's not a Michael Myers movie, but hey,
I think that's it. It was made too soon for people. Like nowadays, that would have popped off because you have stuff like Black Mirror. You have stuff like the one that you keep recommending to me from Netflix. It's like a 3-part right now.
Oh, Fear Street,
stuff like that. And I feel like the horror genre has been revived with those fresh ideas, especially after Jordan Peele's Get Out. I feel like, and Hereditary, stuff like that. It's been like, oh, people can make good horror movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, Season of the Witch, I liked it. It's just when you talk about the grander Michael Myers franchise, you can't even include it in that.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like it is underrated.
got a
It's not
great
talked about
ending.
because people are like, oh, it's not Michael Myers.
It's got a great ending though.
I didn't
don't
realize that
remember.
there was a
Stop it.
Halloween movie without
Stop
Michael Myers.
Yeah.
But I'm not huge on the slasher genre, so like I've like seen like the first film in all of those franchises, but I've never gone beyond that because other than Halloween, like I like the first Halloween, but then I watched like Nightmare on Elm Street and that kind of stuff, and I'm just like, man,
Dude, the first Nightmare on Elm Street is so bad.
thank you.
And
it sucks.
the first Texas Chainsaw is so bad.
I haven't seen that one.
I would probably watch Texas Chainsaw over Nightmare, but I was expecting this great classic horror film, and it was not. The new one, the remake, that was better, but I still didn't really enjoy it.
We didn't get to watch New Nightmare.
That's the one with Rorschach, the guy who plays Rorschach.
No, the new one is with Rorschach.
Oh, the new one.
I love how we just say instead of saying Jackie or Haley, we said Rorschach.
I forgot his name, but
yeah. It was Wes Craven's second film, with like all the way in the 90s.
that's one we didn't watch.
We didn't get to watch. No,
Yeah.
but it's much better. It's very meta.
2 seconds later.
Okay, so we are on number 3 now.
Yes.
My number 3. My number 3.
Yes, your number 3. Go.
My number 3 is one that I talked about actually earlier today with you when you came in this room for the first time and witnessed it. It is one that we watched together. This is a running theme. Stars one of my most beloved actors of all time, and that is this Jim, Mandy.
Oh, wow.
I think this one is not easy to like for I would not recommend this to most people. I would recommend this to people who love film.
Yeah.
And who love like very, very stylized film. I honestly don't remember much from this movie because it's like very, very strange and just out
It's
there.
very weird.
But like this I mean, these statements on the back of Blu-rays and posters are always like just kind of not accurate, but like this one says Nicolas Cage gives the performance of a lifetime, and I honestly think he kind of did in this one.
You haven't seen Long Legs.
Haven't seen Long Legs. He said it was
man.
great.
Man.
But I
you see
did.
I didn't. He's laughing because this is the third time. This is the third time I agree.
Every time that you're like, oh man, like it sounds like you were like reacting to it like you have seen it.
Yeah, we'll leave all that in because that's hilarious.
It happens quite often though. We're like, oh yeah, dude, that one.
It's on my to-do list. That's me acknowledging that it's on my to-do list.
Yeah, no, I get that.
It's like we know we probably
I was
will
like,
love it.
oh, this one he's seen.
For sure. But
I
we
really
actually last Saturday we did watch Face Off, and I think that is probably Nick Cage's best performance I've seen ever.
Oh,
Well, you haven't seen Long Legs.
You haven't seen Con Air. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, Con Air is great.
Face Off. I mean, Mandy. Back to Mandy. I mean, look at that poster, guys. It's probably out of focus because I have it on manual focus. That's technical stuff for you
It's
guys.
a good poster.
It's a good poster. The movie is just like the I don't know. It just starts off where you're like, oh, maybe this is just a normal movie, and then it's not.
Yeah, definitely not.
That's
just-
the ending. Oof.
I watched the trailer with Griffin the other night. Or no, Sam. I don't know, Griffin or Sam. But like, it was started out with normal shots, and then all of a sudden it just goes to the woman actor. I can't remember her name, but I was like, whoa, I don't remember her being in it. I just remember Nick Cage wielding a massive like chainsaw and an axe, and it was just odd. The bottom line is, this movie is not talked about enough for its visual epicness, as well as being one of Nick Cage's craziest performances, but also like great performance. Like it's just, I don't know. I know you didn't like it as much as I did.
Yeah, I wasn't huge on it. I definitely respect the ambition, and I thought the look of it was really cool, like the color grading, and it's very vibrant, which was cool. I'm not as big, like I like Nick Cage. I'm not as big on him as you are, but it was one of his better performances, I would say, especially from a horror perspective. But you haven't seen Long Legs.
Would that be your favorite Nick Cage performance? All 6 minutes.
Yes. No, he's in it more than 6 minutes. So.
Jerry Johns lied.
Huh?
No, I watched a YouTube review and they said that Nick Cage isn't in it enough, but what he's in is great.
He's in it a lot, at least from what I remembered.
Well, that's good news.
That's good news.
That's good news.
But maybe go in thinking he's not in it all that much. That might help.
Yeah.
If you go in thinking he's in it a lot.
I'm not gonna like it.
Right.
Okay.
You like this one? I mean, we can move on, but I think you liked it.
Wait.
Mandy.
Oh, Mandy. Oh, God. No, I'm sorry. I was distracted a minute. Yeah, no, I love Mandy.
I just remember like
Freaking weird.
We watched this during that entire era of like singleness and also like
Single,
like the Antlers, the ones I shall not name yet, the Mandys, and a lot of other ones.
Yeah.
So I feel like that also adds to a lot of these movies because like we were watching them and I'd never heard of them, and I don't think you heard some of them either, and we just were like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, number 2 for
All right.
Sam.
Yeah. All right. So my number 2 is, it's actually a Robert Zemeckis movie that is like totally under the radar. Do you guys have any idea what it is?
I thought he only made like happy movies.
No.
No, heck no. Oh, What Lies Beneath?
Yeah. What Lies Beneath?
Yes. Harrison Ford.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was about to ask.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? I'm actually freaking glad that it was What Lies Beneath that we got that. That was awesome.
Yeah. It's
Because
a
yes,
good
I have
movie.
seen this, and Harrison Ford, Michelle Pfeiffer. I was trying to have you and Sam watch this movie. It was awesome. So
It's
good.
really
Catwoman.
good. And what's crazy is, so Robert Zemeckis filmed this movie in between filming the different parts of Castaway. He filmed the first part of Castaway before Tom Hanks goes to the island where he was at like his normal weight, and then he lost a ton of weight to film all the island scenes. And in the process of Tom Hanks losing weight, Robert Zemeckis made What Lies Beneath, which is really cool. And it's this crazy, it's another like supernatural / psychological horror movie with Michelle Williams and Harrison Ford playing a fairly different character from the types that he
I
normally
would say
does, without going into too much detail. But it's really good. It's kind of a throwback to like Hitchcock films in a way. It's Robert Zemeckis' love letter to that era of horror, I think. It's got a lot of foreshadowing, a lot of really interesting imagery, especially the way it uses mirrors. I thought was really cool.
That's unsettling.
Yeah. The third act, I think some people might criticize it for being a little bit too coincidental, and I'm not gonna like argue that, but I think it's one of those movies where you kind of have to like buy into it if you're willing to suspend disbelief, and which I was for this movie. Like I didn't think it was that much of a stretch for what was already happening before, but it's really interesting. It's mysterious. It's I also love the setting. I think it's like a set in New England, like like New Hampshire or Vermont or something like that. It's just really, really good. And I think it's one of those movies that it's underrated in the sense that it has like a 40-something% Rotten Tomatoes, which I think is kind of absurdly low for this movie.
Very low.
And it's got like just mediocre ratings on Letterboxd, and so I think it deserves higher ratings than it gets. But it's also not a movie that people talk about often, especially in the horror genre, but also even Robert Zemeckis' filmography. Like I think it's one of his superior films.
I feel like that might be because Zemeckis is known for
Like Back to the Future and
those other ones,
Jedi.
just like Scorsese, like Cape Fear,
right.
underrated.
yeah,
dude.
But it's not a mob movie, which I feel like everyone expects from him, which isn't
Yeah.
really fair. But also, he did kind of set himself up for that.
Yeah. It's definitely worth checking out. It's very different for Zemeckis. I'm not gonna say it's his all-time best, because I do think Forrest Gump and Castaway are amazing movies, but
I think those are great. I just haven't seen them.
but I think What Lies Beneath should be talked about for being one of his better movies, and a really good Harrison Ford performance, as well as Michelle Pfeiffer. I thought Michelle Pfeiffer was incredible in that
Absolutely.
movie. So
She looks
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford probably looked incredible.
Oh, come on.
It's Harrison Ford. It's Han Solo.
I mean,
it's
yes,
Indiana
yes.
Jones.
No, I know, but the context.
It's Red
It's
Hulk.
Jack Ryan.
Yes. I love his Patriot Games
Patriot Games,
and
yeah.
Clear and Present Danger.
Yeah.
I'm trying to have both of them watch it, including Air Force One. Those
Air Force
types
One.
of like awesome thriller, 90s thrillers.
Yeah, the 90s
I
thrillers.
just love, man.
Yeah, and this
So-
kind of feels like a 90s horror movie harkening back to like the Hitchcock era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I just thought of 2 horror movies that I don't have on my list.
Well, really?
I'm gonna write them down as honorable mentions for later.
Okay, so number 2 for me
Yeah.
is a film that I think a lot of people responded well to. Not so much a sequel, but what it was great that this movie came out in a time where horror was getting reinvented and redone. I think it was positively received, but people aren't talking about this movie anymore. I don't know why. I think for the most part, it's freaking creepy. It's Sinister.
That's a good movie.
Man, dude, I was gonna put that, but I didn't.
wait. Oh, really?
No.
Tell me more.
Because
Tell me more. Tell me how you said no.
because
Didn't do it.
in my mind, the 5 I picked, I felt like I haven't heard people talk about more than Sinister. And also, I just know for a fact that if I was to present these 5 movies against Sinister, I feel like 5 out of 5 people would say Sinister is a better movie than any of these. Because I think Sinister is one of the best movies ever made. It's
Wow.
It's in my top 20. Maybe says a lot about me, but I also think it is one of the best horror films ever made. It's not even my pick, and I
Dude, the
just want to
found
talk about it.
footage, the found footage stuff in there is the creepiest
It's
thing about it.
yeah.
The name
It's so scary.
just freaks me out.
Did you guys hear about the study done about that movie?
I don't know if I want to.
There were, I think scientists did a study to try to figure out what was the scariest horror film by measuring
Oh,
people's
yes,
heart
yes,
rates,
yes.
and
Yes.
Sinister was what
Yeah.
got it up the highest.
Yep.
So
Dude, it's crazy because it has such good writing, and I feel like most people, including me, don't really expect that with horror films, especially nowadays.
yeah,
Like I'm just going in to see like the quality of scares and like how it made me feel, but that one, like the scene we always talk about, the bedroom scene, where it's not even scary.
Yeah.
It's just them arguing like relationship matters, and it's like that's in Sinister.
Yeah,
yeah,
One of the best marriage scenes ever, in my opinion.
I agree.
But yeah, it's your pick.
Yeah, it's yeah, this is my pick. Thank you for adding that on, though. You saved me.
I will defend and recommend Sinister till the day I die, even though
Absolutely.
it's a film that actually scares me.
Yeah, it does. I'm actually getting goosebumps thinking about it.
I know,
actually,
I
'cause
bet.
especially one particular scene where all you hear is just this broken record sound of this track,
yeah.
and it is freaking creepy.
See, I think your scariest part is the computer shot.
No,
Okay, mine is the pool.
That's
Yeah.
mine.
That's
yeah.
it's so
that's
creepy.
that's what I'm talking about.
Oh man, dude,
With the broken record, it's like,
Uh,
whoa,
no,
dude.
my hair just raised.
Yeah, it really did for me too, and I did it.
Why'd you do that?
Wow, son.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love that movie, but it doesn't love me. So
that is creepy, man.
it is. And Ethan Hawke, he's
That's what I was gonna
Great
say.
actor.
That's what
He's one of my favorites.
And I just love the whole aspect of him trying to be, being a writer, and it's
Yeah,
the next best thing. And he finds this films, these like small films, and it's like, whoa. And he investigates and wants like, yo, this could be
The
made into a
lawnmower
great
one.
story. That
the lawnmower.
yo,
one is
that's another man.
yeah.
literally and figuratively gut wrenching, but
Man, yeah, that's wow. We're doing horror, and we spoke of one that actually creeped the hell.
yeah, no, that one is probably up there for some. Besides anything related to and involving nuns, Sinister is probably up there for me.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a great movie.
absolutely.
Number 2 for me is a slasher that I will also defend till the day I die. I think everyone should watch this movie.
Oh,
I think it is simultaneously so much fun and just also so good. It's a young cast, takes place in a theme park, and that is Hellfest.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Hey, first one.
We saw that opening night.
Yeah, it is. It came out of nowhere. You know, we just went because we were just like, hey, we want to see a movie in the movie theaters.
We just got done shooting a movie for my college film class.
Yeah.
And then we're like, all right, let's go see a movie.
Yeah,
That was Hellfest.
felt so good, dude. Like
It
takes place in a theme park. It's literally just a. Oh, it's so cool. I don't want to spoil the ending, which I won't. But like, it's basically the slasher guy, killer, whatever, is in this theme park, and he's following these group of 4 to 5 teenagers. And so you get the experience of rides. He's trying to find them, and they split off and they come together, and it's just like, it's so interesting and fun because of the way his look is. It's like he kind of could be anyone, but he also is recognizable. And the way the movie ends is what solidified it as like such a great movie for me. And you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And you need to watch it, and other people need to watch it, because I feel like I've heard people say it's just like, it's stupid horror, but I don't think it is. I think it's actually well done, and it's great, dude. I really wish they would continue with that series and not Sinister 2. I haven't seen it, but I heard it's like one of the worst movies ever made.
I
but,
didn't
like,
bother with it.
why don't they continue?
I don't
with the ones
generally waste time on horror sequels for the most part, but cause none of them are ever as good as the original. The one that I think is like up there is Conjuring 2. But
Conjuring 2, Insidious 2, Halloween 2.
Wow.
Halloween 2018. I think that's the best Halloween movie. Because it is.
No, it's
because it
not.
is.
Doctor
Sleep.
Doctor Sleep, underrated. It's not on my list, but it's
Same,
underrated.
yeah.
Because I love The Shining. But yeah, there's some out there, but yeah, most often, I mean, sequels and trilogies and franchises as a whole in the horror genre are just like, they're trying to make money and they end up wasting money.
Right. Yeah.
So is that my number 2? We're on number 1 now.
Number 1.
Numero.
Should I say my honorable mentions beforehand?
Sure.
I only have 2. The Woman in Black with
Why?
Why?
Yeah. Daniel Radcliffe.
I mean, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
It's freaky. Because it's like a nun.
Oh, I know. That's what.
Yeah, I don't like saying it out loud, and then I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Hey.
I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah.
That's, with Freddie.
Prinze Jr.
Well, I was trying to say Fred from Scooby-Doo, but
oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, that was great.
Dude, that is definitely a watch for me for October.
Yeah, so much
I
fun.
love it. And Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Freddie Prinze Jr. I do this all the time.
You could have at least done like
I don't know.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't either.
Well, no, but that.
Oh yeah, no, Freddie Prinze Jr. all day. What's your number? Unless you guys have honorable mentions you want to mention really quick.
No, but you yeah, I gotta change something now. But go ahead.
No, I'm done. I think it's your number 1.
I have one honorable mention. Well, I had one before, which is Oculus, but we already talked about that. But my other one is Carnival of Souls, which is a 1962 cult classic.
Oh wow!
Automatically sounds creepy.
It's really creepy and really good.
Mm-hmm.
But my number 1 is like an ancient movie, and I mean like even way more ancient than Carnival of Souls, which was 1962. This is a movie that's over 100 years
Nosferatu?
old. No. Good guess. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Yes.
It's from 1920. It's a 104-year-old movie, which is like absolutely crazy to think about. One reason I like it so much though is because honestly it is that old, and that style of filmmaking is so unfamiliar that it's a bit unsettling because it's telling a horror story. But when you watch it, it's like you see how that movie is probably the influence of so many movies that we like, with the way it depicts its twists and turns, even if the movies that we like today don't even know it, because that movie's just influenced so many that have kind of carved the path for modern day thrillers and horror movies, because it's just, I think it was that influential for its time. But the story is really interesting. It's set at a carnival about this guy who's he appears to awaken from death somehow, and it's just this really haunting story, and I can't really go into too many details without getting into like the spoilers, because it does take like, I wasn't expecting it to have like the wild plot twist that it does, but honestly one of the reasons that it was so gripping for me was the sets, because they're so different back then. Like
Very.
it's almost like theater, and it's just wild to see how that, like, this is how they made their movies, and you know the way they designed like their towns, like what we were just talking about, like it looking like it's set in a theater was the vibe they're going for, but like you're also watching a movie, so it's like you're trying to like buy into like this almost like a fantasy world, even though I'm not sure that's what they were going for back then. But it's really captivating, and it's a silent film, so like the music is you know, a driving force in that movie, and you can find different versions of it because it is so old, and there's like different music layered on top of it in different versions, but like you can find, like, I think you can find the original one somewhere. I found it on like YouTube or whatever, because like you can't find it many places, but like you can just literally watch it on YouTube. At least I did a few years ago.
What made you even watch that?
I was wanting to check out like old silent movies, and so I watched that, and Nosferatu, and The Lodger, I believe, which is an old Hitchcock movie, and maybe some others, but and I've got some others on my list too, but that's just the one that like hit me really hard. And it's critically acclaimed, people like it, but like nobody's watching a 104-year-old movie. Like, you know, people should honestly go check it out, because I think it is a very historical film at this point, because not just of its age, but like how I think it has influenced so many movies that came after it, and you could trace the influence of movies today back to that, even if that's not what the directors realized. But I think their influencers were
like every director is looking after someone else, or someone else made,
and I think it's all kind of come from the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, so it's really, really good.
I never even heard of that one.
I watched it like after midnight one night, and it just freaked me out.
Oh man, I can
Dude
imagine.
didn't sleep.
Yeah,
I can imagine. It's like, jeez.
And I still think about it to this day, and it's been like 3 or 4 years since I watched it. So
Wow,
it's really
Imagine
good.
the people in 1920.
ooh, maybe thinking
Honestly, like
witchcraft.
Have you guys seen The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent?
Yes.
Nick Cage references that movie, and like when he's in that therapy scene or something like that in the beginning, where like his daughter's like struggling to connect with him, and he's like, but the cabinet or the doctor or but the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, like, have you seen that film?
Yeah, that's where I heard it. I love Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Like, I
It's
thought
so
that was
funny.
so much fun.
Yeah,
Dude, you gotta
really
watch that.
scary too.
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal and Nick Cage. But yeah, that's where I heard it for sure.
Such a scary movie.
Unbearable?
Yeah.
It's scary? Oh. I got duped.
But yeah, that's my number one.
My number one.
John,
Well,
maybe like 7.
it was, believe it or not, it was I know what you did last summer.
Oh.
But I'll choose another one.
That was my honorable mention.
But I'll choose another one. Requiem for a Dream.
Is that a horror movie though?
It has horror. I'll probably get some flack for it, but I think there is elements of horror in it that is so freaky in like a more of a psychological way.
I did not expect you to say that one.
I think the
I just
reason
thought about it
Justin's
in my
laughing
head.
so much is because we had a long discussion about that movie earlier with Andrew.
Yeah. Oh, today?
Yeah, today.
You did?
Yeah.
I like it.
I wouldn't like it.
Well, you know how I said I don't want to watch this ever again?
Yes.
It's kind of how we all felt.
Yeah.
and it was
It's so disturbing.
It is disturbing, but the thing is, though, is that it's a necessary watch.
Well, the one thing that I guess I'll give John props is, you clearly watched this one first out of like our entire friend group, and the first thing he said is like, you guys have to see this movie. We need to watch it together one time. Together. But he clearly also said, I never want to watch this movie again. He's shown 7 or 8 different people now. But still says, I think that's the last time. But then he finds a new person to show it to.
God. That's it, man. Yeah, that's true. I got nothing to say with that one, except it's so good and I want people to watch it.
I mean, yeah, I think...
It's
I think
not for the faint of heart. But
yeah, for sure. Like that is a tough movie to watch, and not because it's bad. It's just because the things that go down, dude. It's just like, oh, man.
Well, the thing about it for me is that yes, film is meant to entertain, and I think that sometimes film is more so make you want to laugh, or make you want to cry, or make you want to be happy. You know, like all that stuff. Or like feel like proud or whatever, or just be like or happy. Sometimes when there's a thing that a director's trying to say and it's gonna piss you off, I think that's also really important.
And that
And not pulling any punches.
no, they definitely didn't pull any punches.
Nope.
They were like, let's show it, man.
Yeah.
Requiem for a Dream. Hell yeah.
I'm surprised that movie didn't get an NC-17
Yeah.
It was probably when did it release? Because
2000.
Yeah.
wasn't that like before NC-17 was introduced?
I don't think so.
No, NC-17 was created in the 90s.
Oh.
So I remember reading and researching about Scream. The original Scream almost got an NC-17.
Really?
Yeah, they had to cut because it was stupid things. Wes Craven was so pissed because he had to go back and forth with the MPAA.
Why did
because it was extra stabbings. He had to lessen.
Halloween has nudity.
I know, but the thing though is that because of the overall, like how many stabs could it be gruesome, even though and whatever.
You can stab 30 times, not 31.
Yeah, that's how it was.
So
That's how it was. It got to the point where like they were that's one too many stabs.
Well, it's just like PG-13 to rated R being, you can say one F word, but once you say 2, it's R.
Yeah.
It's like I view R as like gore. And yes, excessive cussing, but like, what's to say one more cuss word is gonna really make it R? Like
there's a difference between like 2 F-bombs and The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yo, that's a lot.
It literally has 569 F words.
and that's not even the most, right?
insane.
It's Casino.
No, Wolf of Wall Street has a record.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah, I said that's fucking insane.
And on that note,
2 seconds later.
so my number 1, I feel like you should know it. You should know it. I feel like I mentioned it to you as well, but I don't know why this film didn't get the reception that it deserved, and by that I mean it should be revered as one of the best recent horror films. It's Malignant. It's James Wan again coming back with an absolute banger.
Fucking yeah.
Absolute banger.
Absolute banger.
It came out again during the whole pandemic. I think it actually came out in 21.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't get to watch it until we hung out here, and on streaming we watched it and we were like absolutely floored. Literally one of the best plot twists I've ever witnessed in cinema.
Dude, absolutely. It's so damn good.
Two of my favorite plot twists
so
ever.
good.
James Wan. Saw Malignant.
Yeah.
Instantly top 5 plot twist. I don't know how the dude can do that 20 years apart, but you seem like you haven't seen this movie.
I've seen it.
Oh my god!
This is like one of the first times you and I might end up disagreeing.
No.
I wasn't huge on it. I saw the twist coming like a mile away. Like it was one that I
mean, I don't know, dude.
Looking at it again, you can see
when you watch it. For us, now that we know, yeah. Like, the first time you watched it, I had no clue because I've
only seen it one time.
I think, as usual, I go into especially recent horror movies, expecting kind of mediocre stuff, even though it was James Wan. So I don't think I was expecting any plot twist. I was just expecting like to be creeped out.
Yeah.
But when it happened, I was like, that's genius. Absolute genius. And for me, already loving Saw and knowing that plot twist, I didn't think he could do it again. And I mean, I guess I could see how you could see it. I just didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I saw it coming, but I also thought it was a lot more campy than his other movies. Not that his other movies are campy, but it was a different take on the genre, I think. And it just, I don't really jive with camp, I guess. And I felt like Malignant ventured into that a bit too much for me.
I don't remember that. Because I feel the same way. Like all three of us are the same way. We don't really like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but we typically don't like the comedic side of things unless it's actually well done, like freaking 21 Jump Street. But I feel like there was more stuff like that, and maybe it was trying to hit more of the, I don't know, like the diversity side of things, or like being of the times. But visually, plot twist wise, and the creepy aspect, I think those three things are like my favorite aspects of Malignant. And the fact that I just did not expect anything from this movie at all from what I heard about it.
I didn't either.
So I kind of went in with even lower expectations than I did when I first saw the trailer.
I think I had high expectations for it, and that might have been part of my problem, but it still doesn't change that I saw it coming really early on. There's been a few horror movies I've done that with. Like, have you seen this one's kind of underrated, The Others with Nicole Kidman?
No.
I figured it out literally the first 30 seconds. Not even kidding. And then people were like, one of the greatest plot twists ever. And I saw it and I was like,
dude's the plot twist king.
I was like, figured it out. It was also like Sixth Sense. Figured that out within 5 minutes. And I was like, how did you guys not see that one coming?
Yeah.
But
that's crazy, dude. I didn't think you would have seen this movie. This was the one that I was
I saw it when it dropped on HBO.
Nice.
Or HBO Max back in the day.
Makes me sad, but I understand.
I know.
Because he has great taste.
Until now.
No.
But now he's got trash taste.
What do you always say? It's okay to have shit taste.
No, for me, yeah, it's okay to have shit taste.
Yeah. No, but like I know, especially since we did that episode, like we have very similar tastes, and so do we.
Right.
It's just like there's those ones that I'm just like, nah, we just don't agree. I think you're wrong, and you think I'm wrong, and that's just what it is. There's plenty of those.
to disagree.
There's plenty of those with me and you. I'll tell you that. We should just do an episode on movies we disagree on tomorrow, 9 a.m. Be there to be square. But
bring it, bitch. Like, what do you want to do? Like, you gonna challenge me, shrimp dick? Like,
when did this get political? I don't know. It's the first word that came out.
I don't know, man.
I feel like that's something that would be said in a current presidential debate. You get a child, even though it's like a man and a woman. But anyway,
I don't even know what's happening anymore.
This is exactly how our episodes go, but never that far.
No, I know it's great.
Or that funny. But yeah, I did not expect you to not like Malignant or have seen it, but I still hold true that Malignant is the most underrated movie I've ever seen. Horror movie.
Yeah.
If we're talking about underrated movie, whole different story. But yeah, so I don't really know how to end Sam always does this. He just BS's his way through. I'll try and recreate what he does in the best way possible. Oh, he's probably getting some sweet sleep right now. It's like 1:13 in the morning. Oh man. But yeah, thank you for being on our episode again. First time with John.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of firsts. First time with me virtually, then first time with John, then tomorrow we're gonna do first time with all three of us.
Now you're no longer a virgin. Name that movie.
I don't know, like Edward Scissorhands.
It goes with horror.
Oh. It's 28 Days Later.
Nope.
I don't think Edward Scissorhands
It's-
has a penis.
It's go. It's well. It actually.
I don't think he has anything.
No, he doesn't. But
He's just got
Scissors?
it was what's.
How does he pee if he has scissor hands?
How does he? I need to watch that movie. He said it's his favorite score ever on the episode.
Yeah, it
Whoa.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Elfman.
yeah, it's my all-time favorite composer, and that's also my favorite score.
wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I feel like he gave you props and also judged the hell out of you just now.
Yeah, 'cause I'm like,
he was like,
where's Batman 1989? Where's that at, Sam?
that took me a second. But yeah, so as in the famous words of Sam's,
I'll say. Oh, go ahead.
in the famous words of Sam Gigantelli, who is with us and who is not with us. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, we will see you guys next time. We look like a gay couple in that frame.
No, what's great though is that you're just like this midair for like 15 minutes.